Sorry, Metronomy. You got to shut your mouth now. So, I don't remember where we got to on here yesterday. But I think I'm going to try and do a bit more of this today. Like, I might do some multiplayer stuff later in the evening, but I'm going to try and stick to a lot of Far Cry today. Just because I'm enjoying it and I want to get a bit further in it, you know. What's that? Yeah, well, we're not quite sure what it is yet, to be fair. He's taken it to be, like, to a shop to be diagnosed. But he couldn't even get it to turn on. It seemed like it was possibly just a graphics card, but I think it might be a motherboard issue potentially as well now. Yeah. I'm not sure. I've lent him my old PC for now, though, so at least he has something to, like, watch movies on and play games with and shit. It's got 1060 and shit in it, so, like, he could definitely still do some streams, just the processor is not quite as good as the one he did have at the moment, to be fair. But hey, hopefully it'll get sorted. Hopefully it's not too much of an issue and they can fix it easy enough, you know. Hopefully hope.
This is Wade over at the Fang Center.
Maybe we should just go liberate that place. It does seem fun.
This is Wade over at the Fang Center. Peggy's took off.
Sure, let's go. You don't even need to tell me anymore. Let's go, animals. Actually, let's take the road, animals. Did his car that I blew up come back? No. No, apparently not. It's just a deer, guys. Don't worry about it. Is this a working vehicle? Looks like it could be. Let's get rid of this rain screen. Don't like it. Oh shit. Boom is so much faster than Peaches. Look at this. Damn! Hey, mate! How you doing today, buddy? Lovely to see you. God, Peaches is so slow. That's a fellow trucker, buddy. Yeah, that's it. I think they should be sitting in the seats, you know? There's plenty of room for them both.
Holy shit!
2 for 1? Oh, I did get him, okay, cool. Base jumping, cuckoo. Not bad, yeah, I'm doing splendid, cheers, mate. I was saying, I want to try and play, like, a bit more of this today. I may still do some, multiplayer stuff later on, but yeah, I kind of want to try and get further into this game. Like, we're not too far off, you know. That was an accident, yes. Sure. Ah, shit! Jaeger BB! Thank you very much, man! Goddamn, 3 months in a row, Jaeger! You're a beautiful, beautiful human being. Thank you so much, dude. Jaeger! Hey, we should do that. We should incorporate that more. Jaeger! Well, thanks very much, dude. You are a true gem, you know. Wreckfest, baby. Hey, I got both. And my animals are here. Beautiful. So much. You've been following for 6 months, 4 days, and 15 hours. Damn, son. Oh, mate, you're definitely one of those people that I feel like I've known for much longer than 6 months, that's for sure. In the best of ways, obviously. Hey, we can all jump a fence. Oh, alright, Boomer. Gotta take it one step further than everyone else all the time.
Jacob's seed will give us that strength.
shit, that might shoot me in the dick. That was in the throat. That was in the chest. Sorry, pup, but you're an evil pup. Are you serious? You've got fucking Boomer hostage? Son of a bitch. You're right, Boomer. Come on, buddy. You get up, buddy. Good pup. What's in here? Is there a bear in there or something? 'Cause that'd be cool. Bear, come out and play. Uh-oh, helicopter. This is like a little zoo. Shoot him in the knee, baby. That's what we do. Pretty sure I just got him. Yeah, I got him. Oh shit, I got another animal down. You little shit. Where are you, little shit? That's it, you run away. Let me save Boomer, not you again, Boomer. Why do they always try and take the beautiful ones, hey? No. Oh, you're a bad dog. No, you're a dead dog. You think it's slightly longer than that? I think it is slightly longer than 6 months. It must have been one of those like resub type thing, unfollow, refollow type things. Oh shit, Peaches! You're a good girl. Get up, get up. Thanks, good Jaeger. Shit! And how are you doing today, buddy? Oh god, oh god. Everyone get up, everyone get up. There we go. Yeah, motherfucker. Motherfucker, leave my dog alone. Oh shit. How do you get to hit me harder? Oh shit. And hey, Kyle! How are you doing today as well, dude? And you're lurking? No worries, Jaeger. I hope you have a fun time. Intro message? Oh shit! That's a very good point. I haven't actually updated any of that, Kyle. Do you mind sending me a Discord so I can remember to update that after stream, please? I completely forgot about that, yeah. You haven't had your intro. You wouldn't have had any of your, like, points and shit. He bloody did have an anti-punching. But I have knuckle dusters and rings on, so I thought I was going to be better than what they thought. Oh, there he is. Go on, go on, go on, go on, go on, go on. Oh, I missed him. Got him. Yeah, I knocked his hat off. God damn it, stop hitting animals and take your headshot. Okay, now we can get in here. Oh shit, Boomer! I thought you were a wolf. I'm sorry, Boomer. I thought you were a wolf because you're so terrifying. Oh Jesus! Oh Jesus! That motherfucker's got a goddamn cannon of sorts. Oh, it's a safe here too. Shit, and another thing here. Man, this is a proper cool little gift shop. Hey, Navisa! How you doing today? Sinikazi kill Pupuso. That's killing me, right? I know. They got it all backwards, right? Okay, let's go put these rabid little beasts down. Oh wait, you're just in your little place center. You can just stay there. Oh shit. No ammo. Whoa, where are they? Oh, there. Shit. Where are they now? Oh, it's just that douchebag. Okay. Oh shit. Motherfucker! It's so hot, right? I know you're getting like much worse fires and shit in Sweden, Larissa, but it's just the whole world is too hot. It's too hot. Yay, Boomer! Good boy. Ow. I mean, I can't see me.
Oh my god, there is
Get. Ah, Boomer! Get up, buddy. Get up. This global warming isn't a thing. It's definitely warming up here. I don't know if it's just, maybe it's just getting more sexy in Britain. Maybe that's just it, you know? Hey, and Star! How you doing today, buddy? Quiet time now. I just blew you up.
Something is coming. Something is coming. If you're not prepared, you will perish. The world is plagued by a cancer. A weakness. Only form of strength.
I mean,
Jacob's seed will give
what else do I need to liberate?
He will give us the protect each other in the coming hope. At last, you will be strong.
I think so for 36 today. God damn. That's hot. That's definitely hotter than here. Not too bad. First day back to work. How was your day? It's not been too bad at all, man. It's been hot. But I had Bakura came around earlier to like basically look at my my old PC. So I've like lent him that for a while. So hopefully that will give me the opportunity to like play games and stream a bit until like his one's fixed. Hopefully at least. Is there anyone here? There's not even a bear here.
The Hope County Sheriff's Department.
I mean, I broke that.
And I want to apologize for the harm that I felt inflicted on people.
Oh, there's a goddamn thing all the way over there.
I never wanted any of this to happen. I was brought here
Cool little pen there. Nice little place.
pretenses
Yeah.
and spread lies about Joseph T. and his family. Foolishly, I believed them. But now, after the great generosity they've given me, I know the truth. Something not prepare. Will perish. The world is plagued by culture. But weakness.
Just gonna let them see if they can do it. Yeah, I really hope he can get it fixed as well, man.
Will give us that.
I think he's taking it to PC World.
He will give us the means to protect each other in the coming cold. But he will make us strong. My name is Brad of Hope County Sheriff's Department. And I will train, I will kill, and I will sacrifice in the name of the Father and the Prophet.
I'm gonna have to chase that. Oh, cool. I think a car just ran it over. Thank fuck. The prized Fang Center is back in our hands. I'm guessing it's more of a human zoo than an animal zoo. Oh, they're gonna wash that off. Okay. They are shit. Used to work for them. Oh. Let's not tell Bakura that just yet.
Great work, Deputy. The cult won't be training judges at the Fang Center anymore.
Hopefully, whatever one he went to are a bit better, at least.
We fuck with you right back. The Fowler brothers will be real pleased to get
What are you
their
doing?
place back.
Where are you going?
See if they need any help with the cleanup, would you? And there might be still some scared or hurt animals
No,
about.
you're not going. You're not allowed out anymore. Stop freaking out and I'll let you out of the
Just
cage.
the person I was looking for.
You can talk to me from the cage. Actually, I don't think you can. Okay, come on out. Dude. Dude.
Hey, there you are.
I know! Get open! Just stop being awkward! Get out of the way!
Good, you're here.
Get out of the way! Didn't mean to do that, didn't mean to do that. But no, he's alright. He's alright. He's alright. Just a little malfunction, don't worry about it.
I was looking for. Cougar and a
Dad has
dog.
mate who knows so damn much about hardware. I know that any problem go to him fair play. It's always nice to know someone like
I'm
that.
just glad to see it out of the cult's hands. Training those wolves to cause
That's the thing
hell.
though, when your PC
And they've
starts
been
messing up,
shipping those
it's
crazy
one of the
wolves
worst
all the way
things.
to the old lumber mill.
Because it's so hard to
Keep
tell
an
what's
eye on
wrong with it
prisoners.
for the most part, unless you
Now,
have
we
some
had
other
a
like type
bear
of
here
PC to
named
test
Cheeseburger.
parts with,
Bit
you
of a
know?
local celebrity, actually.
Oh, I've heard of
Had a
Cheeseburger.
soft spot for Chad's barbecue, but he got the diabetes.
He got
we
the
put him on a
diabetes.
salmon diet. Anywho, Cult tried to take him, so I set him free. Last I heard, he was
Oh,
causing all
fucking
sorts
A
of
Visa.
trouble.
What flavours
Someone
did you
should
go for in
find
the
him.
end?
Make sure he's all right. Grab some salmon from the pond ahead of time, though. Then feed Cheeseburger that salmon, and he'll be eating out of the palm of your hand.
We're gonna go get a bear. There's no two ways about it. Oh, Peaches. Peaches, come here, buddy. Come here. I want to give you a little pet, because
Man,
We're gonna
she just
part
must
ways
be
soon.
scary when she gets her
I'm
murder.
never gonna give up Boomer. But I want a bear. You understand, don't you, buddy? Yeah, you're a good girl. We'll have fun out there on your own. Have I pet you today, Boomer? You're a good boy. Yeah.
Boasting
I know, we'll get on with it, we'll get on with it. And don't worry, the bear will be fine, he'll like you, I'm sure. Bears love dogs.
Right there.
So, 8 per pack, 32 Pop-Tarts in total. Damn! But at least you're not gonna be like, oh, I should have ordered more. You know, you'll be good. Just be fucking give me food. She doesn't need food, she's evolved beyond that style. Most people have nowadays, jeez. On the road again. Yeah. So we got.
Your
remix. I can't help but think you're going the wrong way. Rumours further expiring, scratch the pitch off. No way, I don't care, he's a doge. He's a roughhouser, you know? He does what he does. Get wrecked. I can't see really up there. Come back here, you goddamn swine. Oh shit. That was my bad. That was my bad, totally. Damn it. That's gonna be harder. You gotta kind of do it in front of it, I guess. Got him. Let's just turn around. This is not the way. Why does autodrive keep trying to take us this way? You have a Labrador, so you used to have... Oh man, I used to have 2 black Labradors. Fucking beautiful dogs. Huh? Oh man, yeah, they do mold like fucking anything now. Are you a baddie or a goodie? You're a baddie. I'm savage. I don't want to spook the bear with a car, so we'll just go on foot. You know, we gotta be nice to the animals. Except for German Shepherds, can't really remember as I was really young. Fair enough. Yeah, we had loads of dogs over our time. We had like Weimaraner, Cocker Spaniels, Labradors. We did actually have an Alsatian mix. We weren't sure what it was. He was incredibly violent, so we had to get rid of him fairly soon. Which was sad. Careful. Oh, I blew up his boat too. That was an accident. We use that dead person as bait. You have a Cocker Spaniel black? Oh, goddamn Sty. Yeah, probably my favourite dog that we ever had was a Cocker Spaniel. He was so loving. He was such a good pup. So soft as well. I'd love to get a Spaniel again, definitely. Look at Peaches.
Hi, doggy.
Hey, Makura, buddy. How you doing, dude? Are you on your phone, or how's it going? Oh, this is a fresh salmon. We got this. Hey, we got a salmon. Sweet. Whoa, whoa, whoa. On the PC? Cool. Got 100% disk usage? Oh, god damn, it shouldn't have that.
If you got salmon, I just heard Cheeseburger was spotted at Lanero Building Supplies.
Try, Try checking in Task Manager to see if Windows telemetry is turned back on. If it has turned itself back on, or it might even just not have turned off because it's a separate user now, you'll need to turn that off because that always was an issue on that one. But if you turn that off, it should bring the disk usage right back down. Hey, where's Boomer? What happened to Boomer? Uh-oh. Oh well, it's a last out for me and Peaches, I guess. That's nice. No, we're not here now. Meh. Ah! I thought we were being friends. Yeah. Nope, think fin. There we go. Choo choo! Oh well. How's that my problem? Hi guys! What's a crazy doctor do? Find cheeseburger. Okay. You're not cheeseburger. You in here, cheeseburger? No, it's not hiding in here. Hey, Island, how you doing today, buddy? It's probably up there, right? Oh, it is really short. But I thought I'd actually, like, missed out on a little jingle previously in the game from one of those bits, but I didn't, so that's right. Is there someone else here? Oh, hi, guy. Nah. He'll get him. Oh, I was hoping he'd just, like, jump on this all cool. Yeah. Hey, Bear's got paperwork too, you know. Oh, I see. Oh shit. Oh, got no ammo? Oh. Well, this seems to be a bad place to be, so I'm just gonna go down. Whee! How have I not found ammo for this? Hey, I got him. So I just had like a knife being thrown or something. So I'm not going to blow up the boat. Why am I hearing these whooshing noises? Oh, there we go. That blew up the boat. Mr. Bear. I have some tasty salmon. Oh. Sounds like we're going the right way.
Whatever you do, don't be shy or anything. Just get right up in there and give them the salmon. That
Alright.
little guy will eat it right out of your hand, don't you worry.
Okay. Hey, buddy. Yeah. Now we have a bear. Good boy. Let's go.
Pass that bear for the reaping.
Oh, you're fucked now.
Secure that bear for the fodder.
That fucking bear!
Capture that bear.
Ah. Oh damn, Peaches! Peaches, no! You got this, girl. Come on, come on. Hey, you. Whew.
Hot damn! I heard you found cheeseburger.
Yeah, we found cheeseburger.
I know he's safe.
We definitely found cheeseburger.
Don't actually feed him cheeseburgers, cause you know he's got the diabetes. There's someone out there pretending to be a soldier.
Oh, come here, buddy. I want to pet you. Why you come back into a tree?
Brothers and sisters and putting this project in jeopardy.
You good old big old
I want
beast,
to
you.
know that they have my attention. My hunters are coming for you. There's nowhere you can run.
Oh, hunters. That's fun. So, can we get Boomer back up in here? Sweet. I now have a bear and a dog. I have kind of always wanted those things. Okay, so just sending Cora a message to try and help with something on my old computer. Right, so still got 2 more people I need to find. I'll just got to do their missions for them, I guess.
Hunters.
Hunters. Said a mouthful there. Hey, Jess. Okay. Let's fast travel to Hope section, and then we'll find out what like the nearest shit is. Like, that's probably one of the nearest ones. We'll do that. Okay. This way. I think. Oh, in the water? You want me to go in the water? Let's just make sure it's safe down there first. Now we can go. Okay. I'm pretty sure I went down in this cave before and there was like nothing. Don't tell them that. Oh shit. Bear, you can't fight a helicopter from the water. You have to get out of here first, buddy. Bless him. It's his first proper fight with us. He doesn't quite know where he should be standing. Fucking mortars. Oh shit me. Where the fuck are they? Oh shit, I'll come back for you, Boomer. Just take out this prick. Oh shit me. Is Boomer just straight up dead? Oh my god. The bear's not doing much better. He's just sitting in the water like a pleb. Ah, shit. I'm pretty sure the bear's dead. Bear with me, I'm new here. I'm dead. I can see why I died too, you know. I think it was the bullets. They're pretty tough. It must be made of some form of metal. Oh, so it starts me in the water. That's great. That's always beautiful. That's actually always my favourite. I like starting underwater, with little to no health, and many enemies around me. See how he died? Because you were dead. That's true. Damage caused by bullets kill people. Oh my god, wow, Kyle, man. You're just breaking all kinds of preconceptions and shit. Do I have any sniper ammo here? 10. Okay. Oh my god, they killed both my animals in that. Did I get a helicopter? Or did I manage to get a helicopter? Stop mortaring where my animals are! Sons of bitches. You got this, big bear. Hey, don't fucking throw a rock at me, you piece of shit. Oh, you didn't even let Boomer out of the water. Oh my god, these people are monsters. Absolute monsters. Right, I'm going after that mortar motherfucker. I missed him? Alright, fucking go. Oh shit, he'd already fired it. Whoa! God damn it. Come on, you guys. You can have a nap later. Jesus Christ, somebody, like, just let Boomer out of the water first, please. Poor pup. Fuck, man. Poor pup. Okay. I think there's a new jabroni on mortar business. Oh, maybe not. They're just super far away there. Do we have to go save that guy over there? It's a lot more quiet around here now. Seems a lot nicer. Ah, there we go. It was a really nice, peaceful woolly mammoth park for a second there. You right? How long you been down there, buddy?
You saved me.
I did.
Sorry, my name's Charles. Everyone calls me
I know.
Doc, but I'm not.
How long
I'm
did you
not
talk
that
to this
kind of
dude?
doctor. I'm a veterinarian.
Oh,
Right now, I
have
guess
a
I'm
bear.
a resident yard doctor.
Could you check him over? I just got him. I don't know if he has like,
Wounds is a lot different than delivering cabs. That's
I
for
don't know, really bad
goddamn
bear
sure.
farts or something. Maybe he needs some
Sorry,
tablets.
Doesn't matter. Here's the deal. I stumbled on something that seems to attract the angels, which means we could herd them.
You mean
I
like
went out to
noise?
try a field test, but things went sideways. Fucking
Hey,
cult.
Big Bird, how you doing there, buddy?
I'm missing ingredients, and if I stay out here, I'm just gonna wind up dead.
Yeah,
I
ligma.
have to get back to the prison.
I've got
Can you help
ligma.
me?
That's what it is.
I've got
Unfortunately,
the list
buddy.
of stuff I still need. If you could find them, we may actually have a chance at surviving.
Let's do this. Okay. So, get. Oh wait, I wasn't listening. What do you want me to do? Okay. So you get 1 undamaged black bear skin, get 2 undamaged pronghorn skins. Okay, so I could probably do with changing my weapons in that case. Because if I use a bow and arrow, it should preserve them, I think, right? Right, let me go here. There's a gun shop here. Yeah! Welcome to the stream nonetheless, Big Bad. Okay.
Most of us only got the firepower.
People around
Ayo.
here name a school or whether international business travel.
Okay, so let's get my my arrow back out. That was out here, I think. Swap it for the sniper. Yeah, I think that's okay. Actually, and then doom 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 doom. Thinking maybe about upgrading, you know. Yeah, I think I'm gonna get that. Yeah, why not? Treat yourself. Oh, what's that, man? Ah. Let's do that. Nice. So this video about SQL injections that was really interesting. I'll send you it in Discord. Shows how easy it is to break databases. Oh, okay. I probably won't know what to do with any of that. I'm very dumb when it comes to shit like that. It's something I'd like to be able to get into, but I'm pretty dumb. I could live with that, especially in regards to that sort of stuff.
Nice dog.
Nice doggy. What about my bear? Wait, where is my bear? There he is. Do you like to dance? Okay, so I need to find pronghorn area and bear areas. Black bears as well, I believe. You're a pronghorn? No, you're a deer. What's a pronghorn? Is a pronghorn like a deer? He explains very well. I don't know much about SQL. I've not much use play. Okay, fair enough. Hey, and B-Man! Thank you for the host, dude. How are you doing today? Oh, there's lots of places here. Okay. Alright. Oh, and there's a fucking lighter right here? I've never seen that one before. Beautiful. I've only been looking for those the entire thing. Once I get that lighter, I'll only need one more as well. And then I can make a fire or something, I'm not sure. But we'll have a damn good campfire, that's for certain. I'm glad to hear it, B-Man. It's lovely to see you, dude. Oh. Where was that lighter? Let's do that first. Has anything been here? Right, okay, so there is a hatch around here somewhere, I'm assuming then. Hang on. If I run over here and shoot that, maybe that helps now? I feel like that should help. Ah, there it is. Hidden behind some popcorn. What was that? Let's play some Overwatch. Ah, okay. What's Island been making? Ah, and that Spirit. Ah, wait. I feel like I should know it. Is that a Star Wars planet? Is that a Star Wars planet island? Is that where Spirit's at today? She must be having the time of her life. She seems to be getting everywhere. It's great. How far did he carry you, by the way, dude? It is such a shame that like I'm on such different hours to Novak. I'd like to play a lot more games with him. He seems like a dude. I rarely even get to see him stream, to be fair. But I feel like I know a lot from him, you know. And yes, 100% Star Wars planet. Yeah! Sprite is in Texas and it's hot as fuck. Nice. Is she actually in Texas? That's not too far away from where you live. Right? I mean, it probably is. America's massive. But, wait, I want to go get that shit. There. That's where we're going. So... I wonder what her vehicle of choice is. In Star Wars or Texas? I reckon I'm with Vinyl on this one. I reckon if she's in Texas, her main mode of transportation at the moment probably is skis. That's a bush. I thought it was gonna be real sneaky. I thought they were like crouching thingamabobbies, but they weren't. Let's go. All my exes live. Oh, my exes live in Texas. That's why I left my heart in Tennessee. Make Spirit ride skies. How does one ride a sky? Are you damaging a pronghorn? Not bad, just finished off fucking safety first. Is it undamaged though? Because he was kind of eating at him. No, I don't want to pet you. I mean, I do want to pet you, but I'm trying to save our other family member now, please. Good boy. Good boy, get off your brother. There you go, champ. I'm sorry your older brother keeps bullying you. I know. It'll take him some time to get used to you, but he'll learn to love you like I have, okay, Beary Bear? Hey, and Eric, thank you for the host. How you doing today, dude? I figured she'd ride a horse in Texas. I mean, wouldn't you just drive a car? I believe Texas has cars now. I might be wrong, but I'm sure I heard a rumor, you know. I'm doing splendid. Cheers, Eric. Just doing a wee bit of hunting at the moment, apparently. I'm trying to hunt for an animal that I'm not quite sure what it looks like. And it hasn't directly come to me yet. Oh, I should throw some bait down. Yeah. No. Get up. Get up. Okay, this is like real hunting. Oh, I don't have any bait. Huh. Pronghorns. Cars but have horsepower? Oh, like a Flintstones type thing. That's cool. I can dig that. It's like Cuba, just cars from the 1900s. It's hard to hunt when you have a bear and a loud dog, you know. Maybe this place will let us buy some bait? Oh no, we don't want to sell that. We actually need that. Oh shit, map of Nadine's comic books, yes please. So there's definitely one more lighter on that map and I am just missing it. And this... Yeah. Okay, we'll get those back at least. So I can't buy any bait. I do need to make that myself. Alright boys, you go sniffing for pronghorn and then let me know when you find it. Just lurking, no worries Eric. It's always nice to see you anyway, dude. As a penguin, would you say you are chilling at the moment? Nothing but trees. Trees and the breeze. No longhorns though. Wait. Fucking get him, boys! Get him! Get him! That's why you have a bear. Bears are great for hunting. I mean, that's a fucking headshot. Get them doggies. Bear first. Bear against the dog. Who can get there first? Who can get there first? Oh, the bear. Okay. Oh, now I have fucking... No, I wasn't close enough. That did it. Hey, that's all the trucks. We've got to destroy 3 more boats. 2 more boats, sorry though. That's easy. Whoa, slow down. There are bears walking in the road. Get on with it. Oh wait, actually no. I need your car. Damn it.
Act normal, you last a lot longer out here.
Shut the fuck up. You loved it, Almighty. You know you did. One of the shark scenes in Jaws 3 is embarrassingly bad. Yeah, but don't the Jaws movies get increasingly, like, shit? Not in a bad way, you know. I love terribly made films at times, but... Oh, that's such a really far distance I have to go. Jesus, okay. Let's just fast travel. Who needs to walk? Yeah, right, Kyle. Like, I mean, would there even be a Jaws at this point if there wasn't a Sharknado before it, you know? That's what I really wonder. Let me in, I got important news for the doc.
Lighter out here.
You shut your mouth. Doc, got hot news.
Finding the stuff would have taken me months.
I mean,
These angels might as well be walking corpses.
they're animals. Do you just
Too
go
far gone to
outside?
bring back once you get that much bliss in you. But with this stuff,
Jaws 1 and 2 are
we
good,
might be able
but 3
to
got
just
progressively
purge them
worse.
out of the
Okay,
way.
fair enough.
Once it's
What's the
ready,
difference between KB Lake and Coffee Lake? I think one's newer,
give it a field
like
test?
one's a newer generation of
I'm positive
chipsets.
it'll work, like 95% positive, but we still need to make sure.
But I can't remember which ones are which, if I'm being completely honest. I think one of them's like i5, one's i7, or it might be. They might not actually be. They might not be based on the i number one. It might be more based on the series. So it might be like
One
one's
step at
a
time, right?
5 series, so like an i5, 5 whatever, and i7, 5 whatever. That sort of stuff, I think. I don't know. I might be wrong, but I'm
Look,
rarely wrong.
I
I might say.
haven't done a whole lot right
Think
recently.
my doing is going to
But
disappoint me.
this is gonna change
No,
that
I'm sure it'll be
time.
amazing.
Just need to test it out.
I'm sure it'll be
and make
well
sure
over the
it
top
works.
and crazy
Cult's using
fun.
the angels to harvest the bliss flowers at a nearby farm. I tested out there. Those things can freak out easily.
You would.
So
You would.
go in quietly.
Coffee Lake is
Bait
the new
down
one I buy by
and
looks
get
of it.
back to
Okay.
safety.
Yeah, I'm not
I'm like-
entirely sure.
Okay, maybe 75% sure the formula is correct. So, you know, be careful. Deputy, we're set for a trial run.
Yes. But I want to find that last. I want to find that last lighter. It's out here somewhere. One singular lighter. Ah shit! Oh baby, baby! Thank you for the son to be man. God damn. That makes it 15 gift subs now. God damn. Thank you very much, man. Jiminy Cricket. Thanks, buddy. Okay, I'm gonna find this last lighter for my. It's the last thing I do. I'm doing it for Almighty. And we'll see if we can pick up some comics on the way, you know? Gotta have some reading material. So, let's start slowly scanning the entire of the map. Nice. Thanks again, away, man. You are an insanely kind dude. You all are insanely kind people. I really appreciate it. If I could dance, I would. Okay. So, nothing so far. But I've definitely got the thing that unlocks the lighters on the map. So I am just missing it every single time, I'm sure. Yes, see? They're taunting me. They know what I'm asking. Doom, doom. There's a comic book. Alright, let's go get our comic book. Actually, we'll mark that. But we'll keep looking, see if we can find the lighter. I don't know what it gives us, but I'm assuming it's like something of mythical state, like stature. Cha cha. There it is. Yes. Fucking found you, boy. Okay, let's get going. You've seen your bubble popping dance before. Oh yeah, that's true. Oh, my drink's over here. Oh, that's true. I did do the bubble popping dance. That one took me by surprise as well. I didn't even know what was happening. You know, it just took me over. Okay.
Someone out there pretending to be a soldier.
Is it me?
They are killing our brothers and sisters and putting this project in jeopardy.
Oh come on, that was. Oh no, I didn't want to actually. Damn it! I wanted that car. I don't know why I just instantly threw a grenade at it.
Hunters are coming for you. There's nowhere you can run.
Go for the kill!
Yep. My bear is going for the kill.
Hunters don't sound too good. If Jacob wants you, he's gonna
Motherfucker, see what she just did to my dog? Oh, and then she turned the car. Okay. Well, I don't agree with this, so we're just gonna drive on. Oh shit. Let's see. Can't get me. Here comes Boomer. Oh shit. Our bear's down. I'll get him back in a minute. He'll be fine. Oh. What just happened there? So I'm guessing that was an unavoidable cutscene because they were nowhere near me. They were nowhere near me to make that shot. This is 100% a cutscene, and I was so goddamn close to that lighter. They're such bastards, they really are. Was I meant to have murdered each one of them? I'm guessing they just kept coming. I'm not ready to face other people yet. I want to go get that lighter. Why can't they just let me finish this lighter missions, man? We're so close. Who are you?
The world is weak. Soft.
Oh, is this a Clockwork Orange thing?
We have forgotten
Let me prepare.
what it is to be strong. You know, our heroes.
Now
used
I'm not
to
evil
be
anymore.
gods. Now our heroes are godless,
No more heroes anymore.
diseased.
That's a zombie
We
there.
let the weak dictate to the powerful, and then we are shocked to find ourselves adrift.
Oh, I'm just getting some dinner. That's nice.
But history knows the value of sacrifice.
Yeah, right. I mean, the amount of lighters I've lost in my life.
So that
It's just I'd want to finish the quest where it's like, you have found all of your lighters. And it's like, yes. Yes. None of my friends actually took them. And if they did, they just left them in really random places.
And now, Bill.
I don't know why people scatter their belongings so much as well. It's like, if you had 12 lighters, why not just have a lighter box? Keep all your lighters in the same place. Then you always know where they are when they run out.
Is upon us.
Oh.
And this time, the
Is this that McGregor dude? The
And when a nation that's never known hunger,
Monsieur
desperation,
Fisticuffs
and
dude.
madness,
Ewan McGregor, that's his name, isn't it? No, that's Ewan McGregor's the actor. Conor McGregor? I don't know.
will call the herd. We will do what
If you only own one lighter, you're planning for a bad time. Yep. I brought a pack of like 5 lighters last time I brought lighters. That's great. Oh no. Little music boxes, my biggest weakness. Am I a sleeper agent now? Am I going to wake up like back in the field and I'm just going to be a sleeper agent? Ah. Oh shit, timed.
Make your sacrifice!
Get wrecked, nerds. That's a House of Dead type thing.
Make your sacrifice!
Good. Call the herd.
Call the herd.
Keep moving.
What do you think I'm doing? Having a picnic? Jeez. Hey, another gun. Train. In vain? No. Oh, it's a dead end, you motherfuckers. Can't get me.
Well done.
He thinks I'm doing well. He's really proud of me. This is all I ever wanted.
sacrifice the weak.
Yeah, right. I mean, what?
Keep going.
I mean, am I going the right way? I feel like this is where I came in from, right? I'm definitely going the wrong way now. Shit. Maybe I'll go back out here? No, that's definitely the way. This is the way I came in. I got real turned around at one point.
Watch your time.
You watch my time and then instruct me of what I meant to do next, please. Oh, this way? Oh, this makes sense.
Move in.
I think I did it. That seemed extraordinarily close.
We check those chairs.
Like stewing in the filthy days. Walker, get some windows open.
Yes, sir.
Someone shut that music off.
Christ, it's Sully. When did they get him? Why are we even bothering with this? They're all dead
Sully?
anyways.
No.
Why am I all stuck on corpse duty?
I didn't realise. Yeah, I thought Mulder was still good.
Holy shit!
I'm alive.
Fuck.
Live one. Walker, go. Truck.
Yes, sir.
Oh my god. I'm so sorry.
Give me a hand, kid.
Are you good people? I just want to find my lighter. Have you guys seen my lighter?
Eli,
Wait, is that Norman Reedus?
what the fuck is the deputy doing here?
Jack took a shine to him, same as us. You're gonna be okay, hero. Whitetail's got you now.
We're
I
bringing him
just
back to
want
the
my
woods.
lighter.
Where else?
Tammy's not gonna like this.
Don't worry about Tammy, she'll be fine.
God damn fucking Tammy. God damn Tammy. Oh. Hey, Rana, how are you doing again today? I'm doing absolutely splendidly, thank you. Splendid. People keep trying to stop me from just finding a lighter. All I want to do in this game is find a lighter. And people just are like, oh, I'm going to shoot you. I'm going to poison you. I'm going to do this and that.
You agreed.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. I was at best an impartial observer.
This is stupid. And
Your
this is
cardigan's
dangerous. You both
pretty
know
nice,
better.
actually.
What was I supposed to do?
Actually, I'm pretty sure I have that in blue. Just without that logo on the arm.
God knows how long.
I do.
I've seen
Everyone's
what it does to people.
stitched exactly
You
like that.
haven't. You can't trust this one.
I think I'll wear a better.
That's what everyone said about you. Luckily, I didn't listen. This is not up for discussion. We need him. That's all there is to it. Understand?
She's going to do that thing where she doesn't answer. Now we'll never know if she does understand. This is too ambiguous.
You're right. She took that real well.
Out.
Yeah, get out of here. Goddamn.
You didn't do anything.
Turd. That's the whole point. Never do anything.
What I said.
Random guy number 2.
Let's get you some rest.
Hey, dude.
Stream keeps buffering? Ah, do I not have quality options at the moment? My internet health looks like it's fine at the moment myself. But yeah, if I have, let me know if I don't have let me know if I don't have quality options, and I'll quickly try stopping and restarting. Hey all, what are we doing down there? Nope, I don't have them. Okay, right. Let me quickly save this. So I'm gonna try stopping stream and starting stream. And wait, quality options are available. I didn't you have the quality options up. Huh. Oh, Rana, what did you say on Discord? Was it on like mine or Bakura's? Oh no, they aren't. That's right. Okay, cool. Let me stop and start stream. This may work, it may not. Let's see.